Sometimes the biggest influences on the natural world are the things that we can't see. Things like climate change. Today we are spending a day in the life of a conservation scientist, and we're going to discover what we can do to help our native species and the fight against climate change. Okay, Sean, very exciting. A day in the life of a conservationist. Sounds pretty cool. So, we're hitting the bush or what?
Just before we do that, Jesse, we've got a lot of research to do here in the office.
Okay.
First.
And talk us through your job. What is your job all about?
Well, as conservation scientists, we are continually trying to reduce or eliminate threats to the plants and animals that we care about.
How do you know what areas to go and everything like that? It seems really complicated.
Yeah, there's quite a few steps. First thing we do is develop maps of where species are currently and where they're likely to move to in the future. And then we also develop maps of habitat quality, because we know that as species move, they need homes and food to live in. And then we combine the maps of where species are, where they're likely to move, and habitat quality in computer software to help us identify those areas that are most important for species adaptation to climate change.
The use of satellite imagery also gives scientists like Sean an indication of the most important areas to protect. Once the maps are complete, it's out of the office and into the bush. Okay, Sean, we've identified that this is the area we need to conserve, and it's home to Cohen the koala, our cute little friend from T-Dub. So how do we go about conserving this area?
If it's an area that's really intact like this, where you've got a lot of different native species of different ages, of different size, then the best way to conserve it is to establish a protected area or a national park. Conversely, if the area is quite damaged, we have to think about restoring that area and bringing native species back in, replanting native species back in that area.
It's not just animals, is it? It's plants as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, everything in ecology is connected, so it's important to try and keep things as intact as possible.
What's one of the biggest effects you've seen as a direct result of climate changing?
There's three main effects, one of which is species will move where they live. They'll try and track the climate conditions that they are most comfortable in. They'll also change their behaviour, so they might change what they eat, or where they eat, or when they migrate, for example. And they also can change in their body shape or their body form to try and cope with climate change.
And the great news is, anybody can get involved to discover more about the many species living around them.
The first thing you can do is understand what species use your backyard and plant those trees, those plants that provide homes and provide food for native species. Another thing we can do around the home is just reduce our energy use. So switching off appliances when they're not in use is a great way to help out. And also, driving less and riding more can be a great way for you to be a part of the solution.